Alright, let's power it up and I'll walk you through the programming procedure.
I'll be back.
Now the board comes programmed by default to basically turn your LED system into about the same timing that incandescence would have. And for most games that's appropriate if that's what you want it to do, but there's some other advanced things you can do. And I'm going to show you that now. So if you notice, the LEDs are indicating that it's operating just by flashing back and forth. In order to enter programming mode, press and hold the programming button until the lights change. Now notice that the channel 1 light has come on. When you first enter the programming mode, you get to choose which of the 4 strings that you want to program. And it'll actually cycle through all 4 and every combination of all 4. So for example, if you want to program the 2 strings that are dedicated to the playfield to be exactly the same, you can select those first and then program them together. So let's do that now. In my particular case, on my machine, it's actually strings 2 and 4 that go down to the playfield. So now that I've got channels 2 and 4 selected, I'll push program again, and now the max light lights up. This means that for strings 2 and 4 I can now set the maximum brightness with the up and down. When I'm satisfied with the brightness that I can see on the playfield, I'll push program again and cycle to the min setting. Now I'm setting the minimum that the lights will ever be on these 2 strings. And this is something special that you can do with the new board that you couldn't do with the stock system. On the original gameplay, the lights turned all the way off. Now if you don't like that, you can actually have them turned to just very dim, which is kind of what I like on the playfield, because then when they turn off, it's not completely off. You can still sort of see what's going on. If the ball's there, you're not going to lose it in the dark. So it's kind of a nice effect if you don't want to go all the way off. And you can choose any value. If you want a string to not change at all, you could set the minimum to full brightness and it would never turn off, no matter what the game told it to do. So once you're satisfied with the minimum, you push program again. The next setting we're getting to set is called rise. And this is going to be the amount of time it takes for the light to go from off to on. And you can make it be relatively quick, where basically the board is having hardly any effect at all, or you can slow it down to where it takes several seconds for the light to ramp up from dark to full bright. And again, it's just the up and down buttons that do that. After that, the last setting is fall. Similar to rise, this is the amount of time it takes the lights to go from full brightness to minimum brightness. And same range, you can have it go fast, or you can have it take several seconds to ramp down. When you're done, you push program again, and now those settings are saved in the board. So channel 1 and channel 3 are programmed, which just happen to be the strings in the playfield on my machine. Now you could go through a similar procedure to do the back box strings. And remember, hold the program down, choose the channels you want to do. So I can actually adjust any single string, 2 strings at once, 3 strings at once, or all 4. So if I did all 4, now I'm adjusting the maximum setting on all 4 of the strings, which is every light in the machine, and the minimum, and the rise, and the fall. And when you're done, it saves. Take a look at the playfield lights during program mode. Here I've got the lower 2 strings selected so that we can adjust their brightnesses. If I push the program button, the first value I'm going to be adjusting is the maximum brightness. By pushing the up button, I can increase all of the LEDs in the selected strings. The down button also, as you expect, takes the brightness down. When you're satisfied with the brightness of the lights, press the program button and proceed to setting the minimum. As you can see, you can have the lights turn all the way off as their minimum, or you can bring them up slightly. In this way, the lights won't go all the way off whenever they're commanded to do so. After you're happy with the minimum setting, press the program button. And now we're adjusting the rate of the rise. We can make the rate very quick, like this, or by pushing down we can make the rate very slow. And you can see the lights begin to come up very slowly. When you're happy with the rise rate, I'm going to push it up a little bit more, hit the program button. Now we're setting the fall rate. You can make it fall very quickly, like I have it right here. Or you can make it fall very slowly by pushing the down button. The more times you press it, the slower it gets. Once you're satisfied with the rate that it's falling, you press the program button. And programming is complete. So what can you do with this that you can't do with the stock system? Well, one thing I like to do, like I already mentioned, is to have the lights on a little bit in the playfield, even when they're being told to turn off. So I've got it set on this particular board. I've already got it programmed to do that. The other thing that's nice, on the stock system, all 4 strings are tied together. So when the pinball machine commands the lights to go off, the playfield and the back box go off, all of them. One thing that you can do, and I've got my game set up to do that, is you can have the back box and the playfield act differently. So what I did is I selected the 2 strings in the back box and made the rise and fall times very slow. This has the effect of, during gameplay, the playfield still flashes with all the flashing effects that the programmers originally envisioned, but the back box is pretty much steady until there's a time when the game turns it off for several seconds, and then it will slowly fade off. This is nice because when the back box is flashing and you have LEDs, that's where a lot of the glare and a lot of the ill effects you get from flashing lights come from, because the back box is right there shining at you, reflecting off the glass. In my case, the back box never flashes, but whenever the game commands the lights to turn off for several seconds, it'll slowly fade down. And it's a really nice effect, and I'll show you that now.